accelerated roll. And then roll. Oh, we're waiting for someone. Wait. You can. Yeah. Nico, defending champion. 2 in a row. No pressure, mate. He's brought his entire team. Look at them all. You ready to roll? What do you say, John?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, John?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Big grade underway.
And welcome to week 4 of the Tuesday night Heffron podcast. Once again, we're joined by the voice of cycling, Mr. Paul Kraft. Good evening, Paul. Fresh from a race as well, I should add. Not only does he speak about cycling, but he also pedals it as well. Well done. I'm sure we'll hear about that a little bit later. Then, of course, we have the man who Eddie Merckx once said if he ever raced against him, he would feel like he was the marble while John Sunde was the cannonball. Welcome, John.
Good evening. Good to see you guys and Nicole.
And, of course, we have Nicole Oh this evening, our special guest, someone who, when she isn't riding at the premier race of Sydney, seems to be at every other race that happens to occur around Australia, whether it be up on the NRS scene or at supporting the local racing from Southern Cross to Randwick Botany. So good evening, Nicole.
Thank you for having me back on. I didn't know if I'd get invited again, but it's all good.
It's always good to have someone who actually has some good race experience, although Paul's now gone and shown us all up by racing tonight and probably getting a podium, I'd imagine, at the Armoury. Second. Well done, Paulie. Yeah, but of course, I suppose...
can I do a shout out to the Armoury? Because
absolutely.
Like I finished the race and I say, come on, let's get this podium on. I've got a podcast to record. And they kind of looked at me as, well, you're a dick. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Can we get it on? And they put my grade on first for the presentation.
And of course, did they give you the Chargrill Charlies? Did you get a Chargrill Charlies voucher?
Hell no. Hell no. I've got a voucher that, big thank you to Leeds Morgan Cycling Club, but I've got a voucher. If you haven't ridden the Armoury, it is an interval session. It's like, I hate training, but I love racing. And that is just bang out of the corner, recover, bang out of the corner, recover.
So let's get straight into it. The big news tonight, Jack Bennett. Is he back at his best? I mean, that was an impressive sprint.
It certainly was. So one sprinter was missing, Kurt Ether, but there's still a very solid trio of sprinters, Zach Marshall, Tommy Bolton, and of course Jack. And he nailed it, didn't he? Had plenty of time to celebrate crossing the line.
Crafty, your thoughts?
Is Josh Correll a sprinter now? He got 4th.
If you watch the video, Ollie's video, you'll see there was a little bit of indecision from Ollie. He was sitting about 4th or 5th wheel just before the straight coming out of the U-turn. And I think Ollie might have misjudged the finishing lap. And you see Josh Correll coming past and he's just jumped, seen the opportunity and been carted down the track, I think, in the slipstream of the top 3. But a great result for Josh.
I'm pretty proud of Josh. I love it when a guy puts in or a girl puts in so much effort and gets the rewards. And I think that 4th place at a Tuesday night Heffron was a pretty big bonus. So well done, Josh. The top 3, you're asking, is Jack back at his best? I don't think he's at his best yet, but he's marching his way along. The guy knows how to sprint at Heffron. He had
enough time to celebrate twice. He celebrated with 20 to go and then celebrated again as he crossed the line. Fantastic. Nicole, what were your thoughts on the finish?
I did actually get to see that celebration, having departed the race quite early. And noticed the same thing. He turned around, he's like, I've won. Oh, I'm going to celebrate again because I've won by so much.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I suppose then, though, the other part I looked at when I was watching and then in the race, the biggest wild card of A-grade when he turns up has to be Darcy Ellum-Norton. That guy he only knows one mode on the attack. Paul, what do you do when you see him just constantly lighting up the race?
That's the way he races. And if he doesn't race that way, he doesn't perform. Like, people look at it and go, he attacks, he goes. Why doesn't he save it up for one? it's that mental arithmetic in his brain that keeps him motivated. He's either on the attack or he's going out the back. And do you understand that, John? You
I get that. Well, let me tell you, he is saving it up for something. I had a message from Darcy yesterday asking when was the trophy race. So he's already penciled that in his diary. By the way, trophy race is on the 19th, last race for 2023 before we break for Christmas. So yeah, clearly Darcy's eyed that one up 6 weeks' time.
And then, of course, when I looked at the results, I saw B grade only had 3 finishes. So, Nicole, what was going on in B grade in this week's race?
I'm butting in here. Alexis, that's not the right question. What was going on in B grade? What the was going on in B grade? That was horrendous. What was going on in B grade? And now we pass to Nicole because we've got a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, so B grade, basically, someone asked me, I said they basically rode like a bunch of assholes, like everyone, pretty much, in the whole, from the beginning, everyone was just riding like assholes. So actually, maybe the first lap was okay, but then, like, obviously, I'm, clinging on, and I can just see the front of the race, and there's like 4 people off the front. And then, yeah, okay, go around again, there's like another few people off the front. And so not even that, besides people just going off the front, people were then chasing the people on the front. So there was just all these massive accelerations and no one was, it was never, ever not in one line. And the other thing I noticed in my pain was people would do a super hard turn, then roll off and roll right to the back. They wouldn't fill in any of the gaps or anything like that. It was just, everyone was out for themselves or something. And yeah, it was definitely not a handicap. Interesting enough, every single person I spoke to on the sideline, because I had, a little bit of time on the sideline this week, were just saying the same thing. It's like, what the hell were B grade doing? Like, Brady Stick was like, that's the most disgusting display I've seen of handicap racing ever. So yeah.
Yeah, Big Grade have lost the plot. They don't realise that all they need to do is roll smoothly. If you're the strongest guy in the grade, go as hard as the 10th strongest rider. That means 9 other riders will do turns. On a windy night like Tuesday night, A grade are going to get up. So, keep it smooth, keep it together, and wait till the race starts at 4 or 5 to go when A grade catch you. But no, let's go hard. Let's smash each other. Let's decimate the entire bunch. Out of 24 starters, 3 finished. But part of that, there was an unfortunate fall just after A grade caught B grade about 4 to go, and that did split it up a little bit.
I would say though, in defence of those on the attacking B grade, did that actually give them though the better chance of actually winning? Because on that headwind kind of night where you lose so much speed down the straight. Them keeping it single file maybe actually gives them a chance of winning.
It'd be unlike me to disagree with John Sunde, but I am going to. Right. First off, yeah, they were a pack of assholes. That's not a bad thing. That's racing still. They were racing. They just weren't racing for a cohesive win of B grade. That's for sure. And Nicole, you'd nod and agree that, yeah, that wasn't it. Even when there were 4 people in the breakaway and the bunch was chasing, there were arguments in the bunch and there were arguments in the breakaway. They were yelling, looking back, going, what the? It was so spectacular to watch. So, B grade, I don't mind if you keep on doing that because it is so cool to watch.
It's not that funny in B grade, I'll tell you what, Crafty, though.
Yeah, I'm not there, so it's okay for me. I'm sitting on the sideline going, you guys are great. John, if it's not a given that just because the wind is strong, that A grade are going to get up. If A grade ride like assholes, which they do often, they put it in the gutter when they should be giving people protection, they might not get up.
Well, that's true.
And should B grade decimate the field before A grade get up, Well, they're only racing against, as it was, 3 people, and only one of them stayed in the A grade group.
So who were the 4 that got away? Who got away? It was obviously Martin, who had
There
the.
were 3 away: Martin Holsberg, Dan Forsyth, and
Alex Chubb.
Alex Chubb. Is
Yeah,
that
smashed it.
Dullah one of the Red Barons?
He's in Randwick now. He's not a dollar chilling.
Oh,
No,
no,
he's
that's
a
why he was in the
Dullah Chill right
breakaway.
Through
Fair
and through,
enough.
it's in his blood. Look, Alex did, those 3 did a good job. Now we go back to the problem they weren't the problem. The problem was started on lap 2, right? Those 3 just went, holy, like, this is a mess. We've got to get out of here. And they gave themselves a shot at being the last to be caught. They were caught a lap and a half after the bunch got caught by A grade. So and it turned ugly for Martin, though, John.
Ooh, unfortunately, yeah. Shout out to Martin. He was looking so good too. And he had even said, when I chatted to him yesterday, I see how he was feeling, that he had really trained very hard over the last few months, getting ready for the summer. And you could just see it. He just looked so comfy in that break. So heal up quick, Martin. You know, a few fractures, a few rib fractures and a shoulder fracture isn't much fun. But dude, you'll be back, and you'll be back bigger and stronger, hopefully, when you do come back. And
then on a more positive note, though, the other big win for the night would have been Rodrigo in C grade. It was almost like the people's champion. I thought they were going to have some kind of Congo line going, like some kind of South American dance going on the sideline with his Colombian friends there.
There's no shortage of South American supporters down there too, I might add, on a Tuesday night. So I think Rodrigo's got them all coming down. But hey, what a great ride by Rodrigo. Organised.
Sorry, dude. And Rodrigo!
And then was smart enough to position himself for the finish. And he had to work for the win because Lewis Ray, who's only new to Heffron but has improved dramatically in the last 2 or 3 weeks, pushed them all the way to the line.
Yeah, there wasn't a more deserving winner on the night. Like the people's champion there when he got across the line.
John today you're the C grade champion. It's been coming because you've been mastering the C grade bunch, trying to get them up. And today you guys did a pretty bloody good job, mate.
No, thank you. As soon as I saw A grade catching us, not a big bunch, I thought I might stay a little bit longer. And yeah, I got it.
And you look, you came in with one C grader right next to you.
Yep.
On that last lap. You knew you weren't going to get back on.
Yep.
Yeah. So was it a case of I've got to beat you, or did you want to stay as close as possible?
I actually tried to attack him, but I didn't have anything. Waited for him and then just waited for the sprint.
Well, it's great to see you on the podium again, Rodrigo Montero. Let's keep you in C grade though, mate.
That's fine.
Yeah.
John said he was pulling turns right from the start. He's been pulling turns from week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and he's been the director as well. If Middle Earth has a cycling champion, Rodrigo's the Middle Earth champion of the world.
Absolutely.
I'd like to point out to all the big grade riders that are watching, take a leaf out of Rodrigo's book. That's how you ride it. That's how you ride Tuesday night Heffron.
And what's needed in B grade, Nicole? Sorry for interrupting.
That's all right.
Your what do you call it? The agenda that I haven't read. Nicole, what is needed in B grade?
So it's hard for me to comment what's needed in B grade because obviously I'm just like a bit of, what do you call it, mid-pack fodder.
That never stops any of us from commenting.
Like what's good for me and what's good for B grade is different. But yeah, I don't know. There just seems to be, how do I put it? A lot of egos in there who want to get to the front and show how strong they are and stuff like that. And there doesn't really seem to be any cohesion or interest in kind of working together. It's just everyone kind of wants to.
Not only that, Nicole, the other key ingredient that's missing, there's no maturity. Look at Rodrigo.
Yeah, there's no leadership in B grade at all. There's no one there trying to get people to work well. And
take a leaf out of the maturity and leadership playbook, and you might go places.
Alexis, what's your thoughts on B grade? Yeah, I know you wouldn't have seen it, but you've heard it.
Yeah, look, it's a tough one because they've already had one win this season, so something's got to be working. And yeah, it's tough. I mean, the thing is though, when it's just single file the whole way, you do kind of think, look, that's not going to be successful week in, week out. You've got to get people working. You need at least, like John says, at least 10 people rolling turns if you want to hope of staying away from A grade, because that A grade is just so strong. Bolton, Bennett, Cam Fraser, Darcy, Ollie Penny, Edwin Britz, like those guys. Edwin Britz, he's worth 10 men.
Yeah.
Okay, it's strong, but it's not the strongest I've seen at Heffron Park. It is strong, that is for sure, and it's always been strong. B grade last week, they got up, but there was some silly tactics last week.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't cohesive last week either. Like,
and yet they won. And yet they won.
Yeah, there was more people in there, but it was still lined out quite a lot last week as well. Yeah. So the 2 weeks were like similar, but obviously much worse the second week. And I've only done 2 weeks. I watched the first 2 weeks. So yeah.
The spectators will be looking forward to Tuesday night then. I mean, you've just guaranteed another 20, 30 people on the sidelines because they just want to see what is going to happen to B grade.
Yeah.
On the race that stops it. It will be the race that stops the nation for B grade on Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The mantra
Right on. Nice segue. Then look, I'm looking forward to it. Look, I know everybody's putting shit on B grade, and we've done a pretty darn good job of that. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind. We've got over 15 weeks of racing at Heffron Park. Spice it up. Every grade's allowed one shit showing, and B grade's had theirs. Do it again if you want. But I'm cutting to a controversial thing. And John, I'm not sure if you'll agree with me or not. The fall happened at 4 laps to go, right? At 5 laps to go. Am I kind of right there? Yeah.
5. It was on
right when
coming around for the 4th.
Yeah. So A grade caught B grade at 6 to go. Right. They caught the breakaway at 5 to go, and that's when the fall happened. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Then, was 4 to go. Nico was the only B grader in the front group. Now, at that stage, I wasn't aware the fall had happened. And then out of the woodwork came all these B graders.
Well, there weren't that many of them.
There weren't, but
that many of them.
But where did they come from? Where did they rejoin?
They all got caught up in the corner.
Yeah. So the rule is, if you are involved in the fall. Now, our job at the finishing line, the commissaire, Robin Sprouster, is trying to keep control of sometimes over 100 riders. There's a lot going on. Our job isn't to really determine were you in the fall, but you have to ride the last 3 laps. And suddenly, as we got in that last 3 laps, there was like 6 odd riders that rejoined. Nico must have spat it.
Yeah, he was. Hey, big rap to Nico again, backing up on a solid win the week before. But to be the only rider that was in that front group that came down the straight at 4 to go. Well, I was standing next to you. We couldn't believe it.
Pulling turns.
He was on the front when he came down.
Yeah.
And so he put himself in a perfect position, and it was a shame. There was a little bit of confusion there as the other riders got back in, and I did hear they really get back in where they should have got back in, which was at the back of the bunch. They decided to try and squeeze it in the sort of mid-pack, which didn't please a few riders that were still racing. However, that's the way it unfolded.
So I suppose then, besides Nico, and we've spoken obviously about Josh finishing 4th, other standout riders of the night. I mean, Finn Kane, second in B grade, regardless. That's it. He's got to be pretty stoked with that. He needs some Chargrill Charlies. He is a beanpole. Give him the family pack.
Yeah, he certainly does. 5 of them. I'll tell you, the other 2 riders that impressed me were 2nd and 3rd in C grade. So Lewis Ray, who pushed Rodrigo all the way to the line, but Aaron Rodgers and Bathurst. Well done, Aaron. Your 2nd race at Heffron, and the corners weren't as daunting this week as they were the first week, and came in just on Lewis Ray's wheel to claim 3rd.
Did anyone else notice that Lewis Ray is like the C grade doppelganger of Mick Cupid?
He's also
He's C grade because he's like his calves and his legs are a little bit smaller, but
the,
otherwise, absolute dead ringer.
he's also the doppelganger in his kit out in his outfit of Aiden Sinclair.
Yeah, right.
I'm just waiting for Lewis to turn up in an all-white skin suit next week.
Fantastic. The other big standout, now I am worried that by raising this, we're going to lose about half an hour of our lives, but we had one other big rider turn up on Tuesday night, Harry Scott.
Harry Scott.
Harry Scott, the founder of Tuesday Night Heffron.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wait. I'll just go get a pillow because John is going to go.
Great to see Harry. The
Harry
founder of Tuesday Night Heffron way back in 1985. So Harry's up on the Gold Coast now, obviously playing golf and enjoying life. He was in Sydney and he came down just to see how it was all going, and it was just great to see him.
So, Alexis, you spoke about Rodrigo, but how was C grade from where you watched?
I'm of the believer that C grade is very much a learning and developing grade, and so there it really is about trying to get as many people as involved on a Tuesday night as you can, because that's where you'll learn to get either strong enough to go up to B grade, or you'll just become a better rider by being involved. Probably didn't have that cohesion so much. We had a few people who'd like to be an individual, and I'm sure there are also a number of people who will be looking in the mirror and obviously lack one generally, because some people ride with no shame at all. To just know that the catch is going to be made on a Tuesday with a headwind, and just to hide until those last final moments, it just grates your teeth. But besides that, we did well, and with the People's Champ won. Although, like we've said, Lewis Ray, he rode well. As did Rowan. Zach Miller rode strongly as well. And of course, we had Amy Vesti.
C grade rode so well, staying together. That got you to when the A graders came through, and got hairy straight away, didn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Jack.
We've never seen it pretty much, but I hang on with a few of the second bunch of cigarettes, so that's pretty good.
I'm pretty proud, again, 2 weeks in a row, first female.
Yeah, it's good. I'd like to see more females in cigarette, but that is.
Done deal.
There was only 2 women. That
Yes.
sucked.
Yeah.
Really freaking sucked. We know to be at Heffron as a female, you have to be at the pointy end of female cycling, because it is pretty loud, it is pretty gnarly. Amy Vesti, fantastic, and her week 1 experience wasn't great, so we're really glad about that. But we had Amanda Poulsen as well. I'm giving you some talking points here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk women, Nick.
I have no trouble talking about women's cycling. I was extremely disappointed. Like, when I looked at the start list, I actually messaged people and was like, there's only Vesti and I here. I know the problem there is one of the problems is there's not that many women racing A grade in Sydney, full stop. And basically, to race Heffron on a Tuesday night, you pretty much have to be NRS standard. If not, like, it's so fast these days. The standard's gone up since I started racing it 3 or 4 years ago. That's kind of the standard you have to be. And at the moment, Amanda Poulsen's away. Like, I think Nicole Wilson has Tour of Tasmania next week. Kira and Haley are on track. You know, I've missed some because of Sunshine Coast. So there's so little women racing. It doesn't take much for it to be very little women racing if something else is on. Yeah, and like there's no one more disappointed than me, because I always want people to race Heffron and get more women racing Heffron. I think it's just like the entry point is very high. And so, yeah, I don't know how to solve that. But yeah, like it was very obvious that there was no women racing this week. One, it's a numbers thing. There's not many women, A-grade women racing. And yeah, the entry point is high. So that even makes the numbers less. I kind of counted if every A-grade woman who was capable, like who could race Heffron turned up the same week, we'd probably have 10, basically, which would be an awesome showing. It's just trying to get everyone to race the same week, which I might actually do by the end of the year is just try to get everyone there on the same week.
Physical challenge. You've said it. Do it,
I take it up. I'll do it.
On the positive note, does that mean that Lily Fassan's getting close to being able to maybe ride the National Road Series?
She has. She did the National Road Series. We had our Masters team that we went up with, and Lily was in that. Yep. Yeah. So it was me, Lily, Dana, and Angie Gates. We're all over 40. So yeah, and she absolutely had an awesome crit there. Like she was super comfortable, probably because she'd raced Heffron so many times. She loved it. She's just a little bit cooked from Sunshine Coast, but I'm pretty sure Lily will be back next week. Your
team, as you said, the 40 pluses and like the KOM, Dan supporting you.
Yeah,
you probably got more talk about than just about any other team.
So just going on about the numbers, Nicole, I've just looked up all the females that have entered or raced at Heffron in the last 12 months, and there's 15 of them. So that's quite a few.
Yeah.
It's just getting them all there at the one.
Yeah. So I know last year there were a few people who had their first go, like Fiona Kwok and Amy Armstrong and Emily Delaforge. They all had a go, but yeah, it's super hard. Like if you're not racing A grade and if you're not the pointy end of A grade, it's hard basically. So yeah, they obviously haven't come back.
The girls are out there, and girls, you're always welcome on a Tuesday night.
So then we move on to the podium. For this week, we had in C grade, Rodrigo getting his worst win of the season. B grade, young Benny Coates, who we actually caught up with before the race. So Benny, plans for tonight's race?
Probably just roll a couple turns, hopefully don't get caught. It was a good week last week, and hopefully don't get caught this week, and hopefully we catch C with a couple laps to go.
I know you, but what was going on in B grade? That must have been the most disorganised B grade I have ever seen.
Yeah, I think it was just weird, like on the straight, no one would pull through, so it just kind of messed everything up, and then we got caught really early.
But prior to that, there were also breakaways.
Yeah, I think people would just like ride off the front, because when they would come around, no one would just get on the wheels, they'll just roll off the front easily, and then it would just get split up, and then people getting dropped off the back.
And we caught up with Jack after the race, and this is what he said.
And Lockie Harrigan fired. He shot out. I said, you let every swear word out of your mouth that you know, and I reckon you know a few of them. Was I close?
Nah, I think that headwind's so bad. And like, if you put in a big effort then starting that headwind, when you got tired legs, it just doesn't work. Compared to a bunch of sprint into that headwind, it's a huge difference. So I knew that if we sprinted, we would catch. But yeah, it was one of those sprints where it's slower, so you're worried about people coming from behind, and I waited, and then I thought Scotty would go in front of me for sure, but he just took his time, so I went first. And I could feel Zach and Tommy coming on my left, but then I just kind of jumped in time and outran them, which was nice.
Yeah, you had Zach.
And after that interview, we'll actually show the Jack Bennett sprint finish.
Jack Bennett coming, Tom Bolton, Penny's up there, Tommy Bolton starts first, and now we see the 100 player, Zach Marshall and Jack Bennett, they're all over it, but Bennett, Bolton, Jack, George.
And so after that superb finish, as we just saw the sprint finish there from Jack, we move to our Chargrill Rider of the Week, which I did note on the podium that Jack also received a $10 voucher.
You give them away.
Giving them away.
And welcome to the winners podium again, and the first time for the series of 23, Mr. Jack Bennett.
Outside hand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in congratulating your Week 4 Champion Systems podium.
Big smile. There's a bit of controversy over these. So all the riders on the podium get a $10 voucher.
Ah.
This week. Jack was so excited that he was waving it in the air when I took his podium photo. But apparently Phil Lucas acquired it. So maybe Phil Lucas is going on a Chargrill chicken diet. I'm not sure.
I thought he was vegan.
He could do with a few family packs.
It also, though, it does remove that pressure of whether you want to be the Chargrill Rider of the Week or get on the podium, because now everyone gets a voucher. So,
Is there a rule you can't have a Chargrill podium person of the week if you're on the podium because you've already got your voucher?
Oh, no. It's
You double up.
It's a completely open. And I'm already for my nomination for the week. How about you guys?
Oh wait, I missed.
Who was your
I
nomination?
missed it.
No, I said I'm all ready for it.
Oh, you're all ready.
Oh,
Oh,
you're ready
okay.
for it. Okay, ladies first then.
Well, actually, so I'm actually going to go for Josh Curiel. Not just for this week, because like Josh last year rode B grade and he was one of the stronger riders at B grade, and he's actually stepped up, which a lot of B graders won't do, basically. And he's gone to A grade, and also just over the winter, like he won the Sydney Road titles. He's really improved like a lot. And yeah, he races A grade regularly now, and obviously did really well on Tuesday. And he's also just a really nice guy. So I vote for Josh Curiel this week.
That is so cool. I'm excited here because I'm going to go second. And I want to vote for Josh, but I haven't. I've already worked it out. I reckon Nico was the rider of the week. You know, I'm freaking serious. Not only did he get in the B grade bunch of arseholes, he survived the bunch of arseholes, and then he got into the real deal. He didn't just join in with the A grade. He started pulling, and when he started pulling, he wasn't letting it like a soft turn there. He was smashing it. He was the last one left. He was the last one left, and I kind of feel there's one person that was really hindered by the crash. First off, Martin, wishing you all the best. I saw some photos. I didn't like looking at them. So, Martin, you were the most hindered person. The second most hindered person, I don't think it was the riders who got caught up in the fall. I think Nico got hindered more.
Yeah,
Nico is my rider of the week.
Good nomination, and like your nomination, Nicole, a lot of credible points there. My nomination, I'm going for the C grade winner, Rodrigo Nataro. Hey, Rodrigo puts in. He, to me, is the epitome of what a rider on a Tuesday night at Heffron should be. Puts in, does his turns, contributes, tries to determine the outcome of a race, and it's always good to see a good C grader. So my rider of the week, Rodrigo.
I love all three of our nominations here, and I
That's
just
what
can't
Alexis
wait.
do.
I am so excited. This is the most exciting part of everything, because Alexis is a fence sitter. He doesn't know how to make a decision. He waits for it 2-0, and then he goes, "Oh, I'll go that person."
Well, the funny
Alexis,
thing is,
you're it, mate. You're it.
Well, I actually really liked on the night the ride of Zach Marshall,
Great
who
ride.
in A grades went off the front. You actually thought he's probably got the legs and the strength to stay away here. And I thought this could be a great ride. So for a little while, I was like, Zach Marshall's going to get the ride of the week. Then I saw the results and I saw that Finn Kane got second. And I was like, that's ride of the week. But then you've kind of got a bit of controversy, so I can't get it. I then also thought Lewis Ray had an amazing ride in C grade. So I was like, he could probably get my points as well. And now I'm just kind of here looking at my other screen, looking at all the other finishes. But look, I'm going to go with John tonight. I'm going to go Rodrigo, my fellow C grader. He does. He works. He's also
Hey.
great to see another guy who doesn't do 1,000 Ks a week get a big result. So well done. He's raced there for a number of years. He has won before though. I mean, I think he won in the rain.
It's awesome. But hey,
Regardless,
can we keep
ride
him?
of the week because he puts in. My God,
Can
he
we
does some
keep
long
him in
turns.
C grade? Can we please keep him in C grade?
Yeah, hey, by the time he plows through a few vouchers to Chargrill Chicken, he won't be going to B grade anytime soon.
Exactly. He just needs 2 or 3 vouchers and
Dude.
we'll be sweet.
I reckon he can do a whole chicken as well.
Oh, no question.
2 chickens.
He's just going to wash it down with the large chips as well.
Where's the? He'll start with the stuffing. He'll fill up on garlic bread beforehand.
He's probably the only rider who I think we've given the voucher to has gone, I'll eat all that myself. No need to share. And that's why he is a deserving winner of our Chargrill Charlie's Rider of the Week.
Well done,
Rodrigo Rantero.
And with that,
Leaving along, Zach Marshall's still there. Tom Bolton's still there. There's a few big riders, and Rodrigo is leading the secret.
Entries are open on Buncher now, so jump on. Don't ring me on Tuesday at 1 o'clock and say you forgot to enter. Just do it now. Get it done. Get it.
Paulie,
I've
last
got
thoughts?
nothing
Nicole?
to add, except for a big thank you to the Armory. I love the crit there. Can you go? Give it a go.
Voucher?
What?
And you can send him one. And Nicole, our honourable guest.
All I was going to say, if B grade keep running like a bunch of assholes, I might have to crawl back down to C grade, but hopefully not.
You'll always be welcome there.
They're lovely people in C grade. Look at it.
I know,
Look at Oasis.
I sat on the back of them for like 20 minutes so I could actually get a bit of a ride in after I got dropped. So yeah, it was pleasant.
Good stuff, Nicole.
I will just thank Richard, who'll be providing all the photos for tonight's podcast, the East community for setting up, and of course, looking forward to welcoming everyone next Tuesday for the race that stops the nation and for the absolute onslaught that B grade will be facing. We all say, John, take us out.
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, and thank you, Nicole, for being part of the team.
See you next Tuesday.